Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, Liberty's Hill, where we will explore the question, how can we create a world of human flourishing with liberty, justice, dignity, and prosperity? I am Dr. Bill Brannan, a pastor in Liberty Hill, Texas. Answering that question is one of the great passions of my life. My hope is that this YouTube channel will be a place of interaction and discussion, that it will become a forum where people can disagree with one another and not disengage. A place where new ideas can be voiced. I invite you to not just listen, but to get engaged. Please send your questions, ideas, and disagreements in the comments. I thought in this first video, I would give you an idea of where I'm coming from. One of the great life-changing moments in my life was when I became a father. That caused me to think deeply about the type of world my children would inherit. My personal conviction is that each generation has the opportunity to make the world better or worse for future generations, and that we can only make it better by working together. The channel will separately address two primary audiences through two segments, Out of Many One and A Light on a Hill. I plan on using separate playlists for them and a website to make it easier for people to engage with the content they are interested in. Out of Many One is aimed at finding unity with people from different backgrounds to further human flourishing. I believe this is possible and necessary to create a better world. The way I picture it is that we're all in the same boat. If we are shooting at one another, the boat will sink and we will all go down. Personally, I'm a pastor of a theologically conservative church, and that often attracts politically conservative members. Several years ago, I became concerned about the dangerous attitude I heard coming from conservatives. They were blaming others for the boat sinking, not realizing that their fear and blame is divisive and dangerous. I decided to find a radical leftist activist to talk to. I went on Indivisible's website and found someone who even had a documentary made highlighting her work. She supposedly did more in a week than most activists do in a month. I spent more than half a day with her and found exactly what I expected. We cared about many of the same things. We just had different ideas of how to solve the problems. We disagreed, but I left with a profound respect and appreciation for her. Another example. Last year, a friend sent me a video of Barry Weiss talking to the Federalist Society's National Lawyers Convention. She is a liberal homosexual Jew who spoke to a room of conservatives. She spoke on diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as the loss of humanity shown in the response to the 10/7 attack on Israel. I was not familiar with Barry Weiss before, but discovered someone that I now also have a profound respect for. The fact that she was welcomed by a group of conservatives, to me, highlights the fact that we can build a better world when we find common ground. This is where my invitation to engage in conversation rather than disengaging becomes very important. There are people who would completely disagree with Barry's stance on DEI or on Israel who must be included in the discussion if we're going to preserve humanity and find unity and diversity. My hope is that we can create a common respect for humanity and liberty in the midst of disagreement. There will be times that I will give my opinion and hope that there will be people who will stay engaged that disagree with me. I believe that they will help me develop a clearer view of how to create a better world. The second section, A Light on a Hill, will have a Christian target audience. That is my background, and therefore I feel at home challenging Christians to be part of the solution rather than the problem. My personal view of biblical religion is that it includes self-criticism in a positive way. I believe for Christians to become a positive voice in a civil conversation, we need to address some of the ways that we have been a part of the problem. My hope is to raise questions that make us think and hopefully help us to further human flourishing. For example, another pastor recently sent me a video where three men were discussing a comment by John MacArthur that Martin Luther King Jr. was not a Christian. They point out that King stated that he does not believe in Jesus, that he is God in the flesh. It makes me think of 1 John where John says that anyone who denies that Jesus Christ came in the flesh is of the spirit of the Antichrist. I thought about the context John was addressing, and one of the elements is a worldview that sees the material world as evil and the spiritual world as good. Denying Jesus in the flesh would practically make Christianity irrelevant to making a better world today. We need to wrestle with the idea that King furthered on earth what would be the product of Christ coming in the flesh, while in practice sometimes our orthodoxy practically denies it. My goal in both segments is to explore the question of how can we create a world of human flourishing with liberty, justice, dignity, and prosperity. This question only has value if we explore it together in civil conversation. My thoughts and perspectives are incomplete without the input of people who both agree and disagree with me. I want to thank in advance everyone who takes time to engage. Please also subscribe to my channel. I have faith that we can build a better world and hope that you will join me in that quest.